Hi folks, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Pete. I'd like to introduce to you a friend of mine, Donna. We're here at the trailer park. We spend most weekends here on the Grand River in southern Ontario. We often have appetizer parties. Well, Donna and her husband Lance held the most recent one, and she put together a delicious dessert, sour cherries and dumplings. She's going to share that with us. Let's get to it. Okay, Donna, I'm going to be your assistant. You tell me what to add to our pot.
Okay, the dumplings are made in kind of two areas. First you make your dumplings, then you make your sauce. So the dumplings, the first thing you start with is a cup of flour. Then you add your 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a dash of salt, a 1/4 cup of white sugar. Then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter. You're going to put those in, and what it asks for is for you to cut the butter in, and I will show what you do with that. I have this handy tool here. I call it a pastry cutter, and what you do is you're going to use these wires as basically in place of a fork. Okay, I'm going to cut this in and we're going to mix it up well. Okay, we've got this all mixed up well now, so we're going to add the last 2 ingredients. It's going to be 1/3 cup of milk. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla to the milk. Then we're going to pour that into our flour mixture. And then we are just going to take our spoon and we are just going to mix that all up. When it's done, it's going to become into a pretty thick dough.
Perfect. And then we just set that aside.
Set this aside, and then we will get on to making our cherry sauce.
Let's do it.
Okay, next we're going to get started on our sour cherry sauce. The first thing we're going to do is put in 2 tablespoons of butter. We're doing this on low heat right now. 1/2 cup of sugar, white sugar. A dash of salt. Then we're going to add 1.5 cups of boiling water. Stir that up a little bit. Get the butter melted. Then we're going to add our sour cherries, which is 1.5 cups, and 1/2 cup of cherry juice. Now these sour cherries I was able to get fresh from a local orchard here in the Nag region.
Also known as tart cherries, sour cherries, same thing. You can also get them canned and in the frozen section as well.
So we're going to let this simmer for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, what we're going to do is bring it up to a quick boil and drop our dumplings in. Okay, our sauce is now boiling, and what we're going to do is we're going to drop our dumplings in with our dough into the boiling sauce, which is pretty thin right now. We're going to drop the dumplings in. We're not going to touch them or stir them. Just going to drop them in randomly. And once we're finished, we're going to drop the temperature down to a low simmer. We're going to put the lid on it and let it steam gently for 20 minutes. We won't take the lid off, and the sauce is going to thicken because we've added this flour mixture dough, also known as our dumplings. We've added these randomly, but what's going to happen is when they're all finished, they're all going to kind of go into a big clump in the middle and come out as big fluffy dumplings. So I'm just going to put the lid on this, turn it down, and we're going to let it steam for 20 minutes. we're gonna have our sour cherry dumplings. Okay, it's all done. We are ready to serve. These look delicious. Pull out a dumpling. I'm gonna use my ladle to get lots of the sauce and cherries. You can see the sauce has thickened up beautiful. There we go. It's almost like a soup. Now the best way is to eat this nice and hot. However, as when we were younger, if we were lucky enough to have leftovers, it would be equally as good cold. Enjoy.
Well, Donna, thank you very much for sharing that family recipe. Lance is here, Donna's husband, and he's going to help us give this a test. I think you're going to love it, folks. You're going to have to try this one. I think we'll give it a whirl right now. Oh, outstanding. The dumplings are nice and fluffy. That cherry sauce is a knockout. Well, folks, thanks for coming out and watching In the Kitchen with Pete. Until next time, see ya! Oh man, that looks delicious. Oh,
So good.
the dumplings are nice and fresh. I didn't f***ing introduce them again. Jesus Christ. What a idiot.
Do it later.
It ain't easy living life the way I do. It ain't easy, baby, living life the way I do. Well, if you don't love me, baby, please don't pretend you do.